Let's go.
It's a brand new day. Yes, I'm reading things. Reading things my way.
Welcome to Reading Things My Way. I know you've been enjoying all of the content that's been going on right here on the Larry Reid Live platform. I need you to take a moment right now, hit like and hit share because the show is about to get started. Well, it's time for us to... What the hell? I do not want that in my mouth. Keep it up there and off my head. Anyway, I need for each and every one of you to make sure you hit like and share. I know I done said it one time, but I need to make sure everybody's doing it because the algorithm, YouTube and Facebook be frucking up the church's money. And so I need your help to make sure that everybody is seeing Reading Things My Way. And today, this is B part of episode number 3. Me and Lisa, we're there in New York to meet my mentor and his wife talking to Lisa. And it has been extremely, one part of it has been good, another part of it has been some bullshit. But before we see what else is happening, I want y'all to go back and watch. Roll tape, turn up your TV. Now we are headed to go and see my mentor, Archbishop E. Bernard Jordan. I need to talk. There are a few things that I need to discuss, and I was waiting to be face to face to talk to you about.
I have some stuff that I need to talk about. I need your perspective.
And you know, when me and Bishop start talking, a whole lot of things start opening up.
You said she's not your wife, but she's acting like your wife.
Reid has the benefits of a wife without a wife.
No, I do not. How the hell I got the benefits of a wife, but ain't got no wife? Did that make sense?
I still love him. He knows that I would be with him if he wanted to be with me. When Lady Jordan told me to go out and date, I did not feel like she would tell me to do that.
She's the leading lady.
She's not my wife, Bishop.
But I'm glad she did.
You better make sure you got somebody in your life you can talk to and get advice from, so you don't be walking around here dumb. Trying to tell you. But we got a little problem here as it relates to the Reid household. One of my children, actually it's both of them, got a whole problem with this darn weed thing and it's irritating. So I want to talk to Bishop Jordan about that.
And your daughter's probably into the arts.
Very much.
So if she's going to get into the arts, she's going to be creative. She's going to explore.
Yes.
We don't want to kill her curiosity.
And I don't mind. This is the thing, Bishop. This is why I was told mad about the weed. Number one, you're 17. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Your brain is still going through stuff, and she battles with depression. It deals with people's brains differently. And I said, we need to be involved. I said, I could have texted my doctor to get you some real weed, and you could have smoked that on the back, but we know where you at and what's going on, as opposed to you having some drug dealer give out our address and throw it. That's just, you're moving wrong.
And I got that. And you probably need to share with her cases of people. I know of a couple of people, one's a family member, who got a hold of some bad weed and their mind never came back.
Well, that happened to Lisa's first cousin.
And that's very real.
I have a cousin, beautiful. Back in the day, everybody loved her. She was adored, had long, pretty hair, beautiful skin. But one day, she got a hold of a bad batch of weed. And now, till this day, she is not in her right mind. She could be seen walking down the street naked. She's paranoid, lost her mind. Don't do drugs, guys. Don't do drugs.
So that goes into a whole education. I might would send her to, and maybe you should, maybe she might go into the cannabis business. But nevertheless,
I love that,
But nevertheless, I said it to really be funny though.
I don't know about that business. I got stock in cannabis.
Yes, but I think that when you look at it, she's an artist, and depression is a lack of expression.
I have never heard that in my entire life.
Yeah, when a person
depression is a lack of expression.
She's a creative.
Depression being a lack of expression is when people have creativity on the inside of them and it is not properly expressed or generously expressed, or they're having a moment, then they're stuffing. And as long as they're stuffing, they're pushing it downward. It's like they are getting more and more depressed instead of actually being expressed.
You need to bring her to New York more.
She said last night, Bishop, I belong in New York.
Yeah, she needs to bring her to New York. She needs to be a part. She needs to be around a community of artists where there are expression, and then look at the positive aspect, and train up a child in the way they should go. When they get old, they will not depart. She'll find her way back. You just have to trust the process. But she's an artist. She's a creative.
She is.
And if she's a creative, she's going to explore. She's going to look at the world. And then, unfortunately, drugs, though it has an impact on the brain, but it opens up the mind to certain realms. Mm-hmm. And I call drugs a lazy man's meditation. Mm-hmm. Because if she learns how to meditate and develop a prayer life, she'll learn how to go into those altered states and find what she was looking for and produce something better than what a drug can deliver.
Yeah, that takes work. That's
a lot of work.
I laid them both down with me and went through meditation, and they both are terribly curious about meditation because they've been able to disconnect. Mm-hmm. And so I've done that with them in 19. They still talk about it now because they use it, breathe in. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that's something I probably could do with them more.
Yeah. And, and I would have both of them tested, for, the emotional learning and things. They've been through a lot.
Yeah.
They've been through a breakup of both parents. They've had to, because see, your parents stayed together.
Still together.
And Lisa's parents stayed together.
Died together.
Right. So you're again breaking away from a tradition.
Yeah.
See, this is this whole pattern that you're creating of a break from tradition.
Yeah.
And so, but you can mend that because there is room for y'all to come back and y'all can remain as a family the way you are, or you can remain, or you can come back together as a family because y'all are like 90% there.
Somebody calling you.
There's someone at the door. Hold on.
At the door.
Yes, who is it? Hello? Okay, they must have got it.
Okay.
So that is your children all breaking away from Larry Reid and Lisa, breaking away from tradition.
I got that. And what I'm going to do.
And you're the tradition breakers.
I'm going to support that. I'm going to support it. And I have been supportive of it, but I just want her to make better decisions. She could have asked me for the drugs. I would have texted the doctor.
But if you're breaking away from tradition, you're not asking the tradition maker, because they got to go the complete opposite of what you're doing. They're going to have to show you on their own. I'm doing the breaking. You don't get to break it for me. Then I'm not breaking from the tradition. You're controlling the condition. No, I'm going to make the break. And I've had my listen, I've had I broke away from the tradition. My mother, church home, went into, a break. My wife broke away, was the first one in her family to get saved. So broke away from that tradition, right? So we've looked and said, our children are breaking away from some of our tradition. And we don't mind it But it becomes angry when the breaking of tradition is breaking a law.
See.
And that's the upset.
See.
And when you're breaking the law,
I have to separate myself from that.
right.
That's what I was telling
and
her.
this is what I'm getting at. So then you're trying to say is break away from tradition, but have some sense of integrity.
Amen.
Around the break. I can respect it. So a break away from tradition is like one of my children, if I wanted to be in ministry and he decided to be an artist, and I said, I really wish you would preach. But you know what? I can see that the art is making you happy. We're just going to have to celebrate because that's the way you're going to go. And we wanted all of our children to finish college. Unfortunately, only 2 of them completed it, finished the college. One has only 2 credits, 2 classes to do, and it's a foreign language. It's like really crazy to get their degree. And we're like saying, why don't you do it? And for some reason, there's resistance there. My wife and I, we've like left it alone. We just says, you know what? We'll have to leave it be. He'll evidently get it later in life. But then I had to look too. I didn't finish out my degrees until later in life. So then I stopped and said, and I did well without a degree, but I'm doing better with one. Yeah. And so that will have to be their own discovery. Some things you can't tell a person the end of the movie. You have to let them discover it and just be there. And the prodigal son, when you look at the story, Jesus tells a story. He never stopped the son from going into the pig pen. Yeah. And some things that you're looking to stop to be the protector or the helicopter father.
That's me.
You got to let it go and have to let her be, because you put enough of the truth and foundation in her, and we don't know what her life path is that's going to take her into the space that she needs to go. You don't have to let her be. She's a free spirit, and she'll be okay. Yeah. So she'll probably be leaving home next year.
Yes, we hope so. We're praying.
No, you don't hope so.
What you mean? Because
if you did, her behavior at 17 wouldn't be bothersome.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I want her to leave next year and mature, to where we can turn our back. That's what I'm hoping. But if she's not ready, then I don't want her to leave.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And you're not allowing her decisions. Like now, for instance, like everybody knows that in my house, even workers know they can't smoke in my house. Mm-hmm. That's just a fast rule. We just don't like smoke in the house, right? We've had people that have gone off the grounds and have walked down the block to go and smoke. That's just a hard, fast rule. Right. I just don't care for smoke.
Nobody's ever done that has came to work. They will ask and they will go into the back. Mm-hmm. Just my daughter's the first one to ever do it in the house, hanging out a window.
Well, but she still are not really smoking in the house.
My bishop.
And the only reason she's smoking and putting it out the window, because she can't walk outside the house without you having the alarms and the cameras all around the place. And you're looking, and so.
So we went into that. You would have seen the way.
Mm-hmm. So she's giving you the respect. It's just that she's in a cage.
Oh, Father.
Right. She has no freedom. She has no. You're homeschooling, all right?
Yes, Lisa's home.
Homeschooling. Now. So where's her social development and social life? There's no trust there.
No.
So.
Because she had somebody come to the house almost raped. Then now she got drug dealers giving her address. Well, I wonder what she's gonna do if she got the freedom to go and go.
If she had the freedom to go, she'd probably choose decent people because decent people are not going to come to the house. She just wants social. She just wants sociality. Sociality is an important part of human development.
Sociality is a huge part of development because we are transactional creatures. In other words, you were made to interact. The Bible tells us, if we go back to the Word of God, it says it is not good for man to be alone.
We might send her to you.
Sociality. No, she would do very well. She would probably end up she would find her own people, which would be artists and creative. And you may be surprised. She would probably be able to maneuver better than you really suspected.
That would be great. Because her and Zoe they're like very talented, super talented. But they just...
But your oldest daughter's a socialite. You can see that.
Yeah.
She's you. She's going to talk to everybody.
She is.
She's going to pull everybody. She'll probably end up, later on in life, she'll be like a Mother Teresa, just, out feeding people that are in desperate situations.
Yeah, she has a heart for people. She's very empathetic.
Yeah, that's a gift. She just needs to be social, and when she's had enough of the weed, she'll let it go. She'll one day look at it, and it won't.
I'm gonna see if I can get her boyfriend back.
Well, if you get her boyfriend back, she probably won't take it back because it's your choice.
It's my choice.
You have to let her make that choice.
Okay.
You have to let her get it back. That's if she even want him back.
Yeah.
She may not even want him back because you like him.
Right. Yeah, I like him. Lisa like him. Kendall like him. Everybody like him. Just like a mama, Exaria likes to have somebody in her life all the darn time. Count. Her and Lisa is neck to neck when it comes to how many folk they done been with in the last 3 or 4 years and called wife or husband or boyfriend. And this is a boyfriend that Exaria done went and picked up. Now, the boy is not bad, but he in school and play basketball, and Exaria is being homeschooled. Now, at 16 years old, we led by the peen. I don't think Azaria understands that this boy is not gonna stay around for a girl that's consistently grounded and getting in trouble because she's running and smoking weed and inviting people, drug dealers by the house to drop stuff in our mailbox and all that kind of going on. He gonna get tired of her because she ain't going nowhere. You're not gonna do wrong in my house and keep the phone and be able to run the street and have visitations all the darn time. No, that shall not happen. Visitor activity is cut down. But he ain't that bad. Skinny, but not that bad. Little funny looking, but not that bad. Long neck, my God, but not that bad. Yeah, I ain't.
You probably said that. I want the bad one. I want the one that can replace my father.
God.
She's gonna look for your challenge. She's gonna look for someone that's like you, but someone that would be that savior.
Oh, okay.
And that's healthy. That's just a healthy aspect. And there'll come a point where she'll probably compete, try to outdo you. I'm not gonna be like my parents. I'm gonna do better than my parents. Don't you feel a sense of accomplishments that you have done in so many ways better than your parents did?
I never thought about it. Maybe I need to sit with that.
Look at that for a moment.
I'm just glad I'm not there anymore.
But look, so that is your way of kindly saying, I've done better than where I came from.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Mm-hmm. She is looking for that same path.
Oh, boy.
How can I do better than where I've come from? And when parents create big shoes to fill, they have to make large, daring leaps to hopefully land in even bigger shoes.
Wow. I knew talking to you would bring much clarity. I do feel as though that there's some things that I can do differently. I got this one more thing, but I hold that because I don't know what you're going to say about that.
Larry talks about everything. I'm wondering, what is it that he needs to talk about now?
What is the one more thing?
The one more thing is, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you feel sometimes as the one that has, Bernard Jordan is Zoe Ministries. Then there's everything else. 3,000, you've authored over 3,000 books. You have spiritual children all over the world. You are the go-to coach and counselor for some of Hollywood's greats. If you had not done what you have done, because I know you had your own personal hell and sacrifice, even prior to Miss Deborah. If you hadn't done what you've done, there's I don't know how many employees you got.
Over a lot.
A whole lot of employees. These people won't have nowhere to eat or sleep, won't be able to do well for themselves and for their families. Now,
70 households
right.
eat as a result, over 70 as a result of us.
Households. Okay, now. But when I come on your property, I don't know what's behind the scene, but everybody handles you like we have got to make sure that this man can 100% focus on his work, his talent, being his gift, and do what he's called to do, and that he feels honor, that he feels respect. And I don't feel that in my community.
I feel it when I go to your community.
You feel it?
A lot. You being in it, you can't see it.
Okay.
But when you like what you're saying, I would say the same thing.
Okay.
But when I came to your home to surprise you, I remember Shamako said, he was running around and he says, Rita's gonna be so upset because the dining room chairs are not here. And Reid likes things to be looking a certain way. Run downstairs and get the chairs. He was trying to get the chairs and everything set up. And your people were jumping. And on their mind is Reid, 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 Reid.
Oh, okay.
Now that all of that is happening the whole time, right? You will never feel enough honor within your own house because a man is without honor in his own home.
Yeah, okay.
Because is there room for more? There's always room for more. But you'll never feel the more even when it comes because you're going to be without it.
And there's just sometimes it seems, Shamako's not surprised. Shamako's like that. But just sometimes it seems like those that do not have the privilege of access and those who cannot put their hand on me or call me, but those that are way off.
That's because there's a different honor from those that are outside the tent than those that are in the tent. Outside the tent, I really love you. Inside the tent, I gotta handle your dirty underwears. The language that you really give that is inside the tent versus the tongues you speak outside the tent.
Right.
Okay? So you gotta be anointed to be with a person in their tent.
Okay.
Shem and Japhet walked backwards and covered their father in their tent. Ham exposed his father in the tent. So the greatest honor you have is when those that are in your tent do not betray you.
Oh, I can't say that I don't have that anymore.
Right. But you've had.
I have.
And the pain of betrayal becomes great. That when they take stuff that is in the tent, outside of the tent, that's the value of a servant. is those that can walk backwards and hold the tent together on the inside.
I got it. Got it. Now that sounds real good and it's real powerful. You got to eat the meat and spit out the bones sometime. That's a powerful statement for them folk that's in the church preaching and they got no umbrellas, all kinds of stuff. But I'm not just a pastor, I'm an entertainer too. And I'm on a whole reality show. So my whole in the tent is outside the tent. Now there's some promises that will never get out. So I guess it can apply to them. So is he right still? I don't feel that way no more as I sit right here in this chair right now.
Because loyalty, because what is loyalty? Loyalty is changing my plans to meet the one that I am given to serve.
Okay, I think they all do that.
Yeah. I mean, I call you at 1 o'clock in the morning. We talk 1 o'clock in the morning.
Or 2
o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And Kendall is right there and doesn't go to bed until after you close your eyes and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's a level of loyalty that you're not going to get on a 9 to 5 person.
Yeah,
It's 5 o'clock, I got to go.
True. That's true.
So
all of them, and you said the value of a person is the how you say that about you said about
the value of that person is to serve you.
Is that loyalty?
Is that loyalty to serve you to the point that they keep what's in the tent and protect they protect the conversation in the tent.
And that's everybody around.
They protect the household in the tent.
Yeah.
And you don't hear the stuff in your tent outside of your tent,
true.
except for what you give permission to be heard.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
And that's very powerful to find to find those kinds of workers and friends are rare.
Especially in the 30s and
gift.
40s. Yeah. That kind of maturity usually you find in older people.
Because see, access is power. Having access to you is power. But having people that can handle access is even a greater gift. And only very few
that
can handle it.
That just fix. It's never gonna feel like a nirvana.
Mm-mm.
The value is in the loyalty. I got that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes like that with everything. Children, wife, I could be ranting and raving, but it's gonna, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Okay, so today, what is about to happen? Everybody's gonna be coming over to the house.
Okay.
Now, this is the great thing about having a conversation with my mentor. It's always so good and loaded, but it's long-winded and I'm hungry. I'm ready to go, but I got something else I want to talk about. But my stomach wanted to get to that table and get to eating. Can't wait to see everybody. And I'm excited about everybody. First of all, my people love you. They love seeing you. And,
I think Kendall calls me grandpa.
yeah, he does. And so that's gonna be great for everybody to come over and to see one.
Because you make it clear, say, he's my father.
Yeah, I don't
He's not your father.
Make sure they know. That's important. They need to know. Yeah, so.
Do you think you're very possessive?
I know I am.
So do you think you're trying to possess Alisa?
I've questioned that because I know I'm possessive and controlling.
Can she date someone else?
Yeah, we had a conversation about that. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. But
so the guy could come pick her up at the house, and they said going out to the house.
No.
So did she can't date nobody else? No, so she can't date. She can't date anybody else.
But how she can't because I'm gonna tell you what I would do. What kind of person I am?
But what kind of man's gonna not walk a woman to her door?
I will get Lisa an apartment somewhere else.
So
for her to pick.
So if
do that part of her life.
if she dates, she's got to leave your house.
No, she go to her house.
So she got to leave your house.
Yeah, he can
she
pick
got to
up
leave the
from
house.
there.
See, you know what,
yes.
Larry? That is.
I would do the same thing.
We have to talk about that in another discussion.
I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. It's respectful. I would do the exact same thing.
Why not at the house? Because any man she date, she's she should be dating the family anyway. The man can date Larry and Alisa. Since they're such a blended family, why not keep the blend going?
Out here in these streets, folk date like they change drawers. So you're not about to bring no maybe or nearby to the house. If you really serious and now it's time for him to be introduced to the family, then that's all right. Bring the man or the woman, don't know what the hell you gonna do, and just come to the house. I don't mind that. But while you doing that little dating, that dicking around, that peeing around, you doing all that, I go get you an apartment. He meet you up over there and pick you up, that kind of going on. Cause I don't want the girls to be around that, and I just don't want it. And you ain't coming to my house. Come to my house? Nope, it's not happening. Sorry.
Do I think Alisa and Larry's gonna get married again? I think time will unveil that. I don't want to say, because I don't want it to look like I'm coloring anything in the picture. But time is going to unveil. And when your eyes behold it, it's going to cause you to wonder, when did it begin?
So when are you going to propose to her? Because you're tiring up her life.
Oh, you know what? That's not. No. She just went from me to the relationship, and she just got back home. She needs time. She needs to sit down and let dust settle in her life. That's what she need to do.
She's been home. She's been there with you for how long now?
A year and some change. She needs some time to sit down and just.
That's almost a year and a half.
Yeah, she is made for a relationship. Lisa has to be in a relationship. So that's why we had the conversation, because I know she likes to be in a relationship.
You think she would?
You know what she told me? She said, but I've been made. I feel like I've been made to be your wife.
Wow, this is deep.
I said, what the hell?
When did she say that to you?
This is the same conversation when she asked me. I said, now this is what is happening in her mind. She just stayed on that job. She started talking about she just came off that job.
That's God.
Oh my God.
That's only God. Only God can touch a mind like that.
Bishop, she just thinking. Because I'm really good, Alisa. Really good. I'm a good friend, but then I cover some of that other ground too now. She ain't got to think about nothing. Like she was talking about she was hungry or something other day. She said, I'm just going to go, so I'm going to take the gas. Okay, and I pulled out $100 business. She said, girls, y'all see, y'all got a good daddy. She said, this is a good man. I mean, she don't have to spend her money. So I understand her having them feelings. I'm going to take care of her. I made her daddy a promise. You know, so I'm not going to.
Till death do you part.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if she with somebody else, I'm going to.
So that's for better and for worse.
Right. And we've had the worst.
So
I hope the worst is over.
Yeah, but did you marry the worst?
What's it? Huh?
Or did you break up with the worst? To have and hold, for better or for worse?
Huh? Oh, somebody. I get back with you. What? I get back with you.
Other than that, I mean, I think I can manage.
Just navigate and look and see. You may say, okay, I'm good. Or you may say, you know something, this can work.
Yeah.
But let me, let's date and let's see where this goes. Let's pray, because we know that your footsteps is already ordered by the Lord. So let's pray. Hallelujah. Father, we thank you for your daughter. And Father, we thank you, Lord, because this is truly the day that you have made, and we shall rejoice, Father. Father, we thank you right now in the name of Jesus that Lisa's footsteps have already been ordered by you, Father. Father, continue to lead her and guide her. Give her wisdom, even concerning her children. Give her wisdom, Lord, even as she began to move on this new path, that you and you alone have called and ordained for her to walk into. And Father, we give your name the praise, the thanks, now and forevermore. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Amen. Listen, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. Amen. Yeah, because I'm on this new thing. I got to lose 10 pounds. So listen, we're going to eat and we're going to enjoy.
10 pounds before Christmas?
Lisa, she's going to make the right decisions because she has a good head on her shoulder. And saying that, I also think that she's going to begin to make some quality and qualifying decisions concerning her life and what she wants to do within the next couple years of her life.
Ben, this is Christmas. I wanted a nigga in the kitchen. Now, Chef Fernand, the house is very nice. He's so kind, and this is what we're eating today for dinner. But he be that rabbit food and that kind of go. Now, if it been Chef Nicky, but I don't know if Chef Nicky still work with Bishop or not. So I want a nigga in the kitchen. So I called Audrey's son, Chef Joe. Y'all team up and miss a little nigga and them knickknacks that he be cooking.
Master Chef Anand, I think we're about ready. Who's assisting you today?
Yes, we have Chef Joe who assisted today, all the way from Atlanta.
Wow, all the way from Atlanta. Let's. What's up, man? Wait. Y'all didn't give my chef a hand like that.
We love you, Chef. You speak so soft and so kind.
He was not raised in a home that loud voices where they would, parents yelling.
Only when they were arguing.
Okay, so what is for our Christmas dinner?
Well, we've prepared a lovely 5-course meal for you today. And the first course is going to be lobster bisque. It's a classic. Been cooking away all day.
All day?
Yes, indeed.
Now, you know Roslyn is in lobster country.
Oh, yes. I know.
Had I known, I could have brought the lobster straight from my backyard.
One of the great things about my job is that I meet a whole lot of different type of people, and one person that I met is Rosalind Robin Wings, and she is, if you're in Patreon, that's why right now you need to go to www.patreon.com/Larry Reid Live and sign up, because you get to go over there and talk to her and me and all of the stock market experts. She's an heiress, but she is a stock market expert, especially when it comes to the bear and the bull. Hell, she's good all the way around. She'll let you know what to do if you're a day trader or you're just getting into things. Come on over there to Patreon so you can meet. Can't you tell that she's a little snobby, too, little rich, white, black girl, black, white girl. I'll go in the back of my house and pick up a lobster. You ain't had to tell us all that. We know you rich. We know you're rich. We know.
You didn't have to flex like that, right? The flex is real.
Surrounding my 68 acres in Maine, yes.
Well.
Let's go outside and pick.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yes, and then for the second course, we will have a Waldorf salad, and that's going to be served on a bed of butter leaf lettuce. And that also has some candied pecans and pomegranate with the season, for keeping it seasonal.
Wow. And is there any desserts today at all?
Yes, we have a lovely dessert.
Okay, hold on. Now, Shamaka, you didn't bring a cake.
I had to bring a cake.
And it's going to be judgmental of whatever you serve for dessert.
Now, I'm surprised that Shamako didn't bring a cake, too. Everywhere he go, he packs the cake to feed everybody. Send all our sugar up. I mean, we all end up diabetic. We keep fooling up with him, but he has the best cakes in Atlanta. I'm telling you, he does.
I'm the cake champ. Listen, so I'm the cake champ, meaning I make cakes, I bake cakes, and I am from down south. You're gonna ask me what I think about the desserts. Firstly, I don't think they were desserts. I think they were fruit desserts. It was delicious, absolutely great and delicious, but it was a pear and cream, a baked pear and cream. It was good, but when you ask a cake person about desserts, I'm expecting cake, pies, and if anything, maybe banana pudding. It was good, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was dessert. Me personally.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, he's not gonna like it.
He's not gonna like it.
It's not true. They didn't do this right.
Oh my God.
It's all right.
I know
bud.
he's the master chef, but I'm
What?
champ.
I know that's right. I am the cake champ.
What are the desserts?
The dessert.
Or should we say that for later?
Well, the dessert that we have for the meal is we have poached pears. We have ginger and cinnamon poached pears. And that's going to be served with a bit of a orange chantilly cream.
Was it a cream?
Yes, orange chantilly cream.
Chantilly.
And a little bit of fresh pomegranate.
Okay. Oh, that sounds great. It's rich people dessert.
Rich people dessert.
Poached pears.
What does that mean? It's boiled?
It's rich peopleized.
Poached pear.
Yeah.
You ain't got no caramel on it?
In the words of Funky Dineva, I am rich like this. They rich like this. I'm black folk rich. They white folk rich. Two different kind of riches.
We're Jordans today.
Pears are good.
Let me straighten my back.
Sit up. I gotta sit up straight.
Okay. We are ready for you to serve. But we're gonna have Dr. Larry Reid bless the table.
Oh, really? In the Jordan's house? This doesn't feel right.
We'll be honored.
Bishop, please pray over the. Please pray. And from that conversation we had earlier, mine ain't right.
But I believe your prayer can reach.
Okay, let's pray. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to sit in this prophetic home. So much purpose, so many different energies running throughout the walls. Let us take with us from this place that energy that will serve us to become our greatest self when we leave this property. And I ask that you will bless this family and bless everyone that prepared the food. It's blessed now in Jesus' name, and so is this moment. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll be back. We're going to go to the kitchen and start plating up, and we'll be serving shortly.
Yes.
Good eat.
Based
You
on
didn't
that
seem
menu,
so excited about the lobster.
half of
I know.
the people sitting at the table will
You
have a
don't do
buzz,
lobster either?
and the other half will probably be full on drunk by the end of the meal.
Yeah.
Just checking.
So, Lady Jordan, what are these?
Those are turtle salt and pepper shakers.
And they are
If
heavy.
this ain't rich folks stuff, I don't know what is.
The salt is pink.
The turtle.
Himalayan salt.
Oh.
Okay. Did you hear that?
It's Himalayan
Listen,
salt.
It's Himalayan salt.
Blue, not the blue box.
It's not the iodized.
It's not iodized. Nor diamond crystal.
Right.
It ain't the little white girl with the ring with the jacket on it.
How about the pepper?
How do you get it open?
Will you please tell us?
You just shake it. I look like
How do you refill it?
He wants to know how to get it open.
Oh, how you refill it?
Under here. Under here. You
Okay,
twist.
cool.
There's a twist, yeah.
Got you.
Wow.
Little things like that do matter.
They do.
Wow.
I'm so glad you're here today, Robin.
Robin.
He always calls me Robin. The first
I'm just
time.
playing.
The first time.
I'm just playing. I mean, I have a tendency, anybody in my life, I rename them.
Yes, he does.
Yes. My aunt Catherine Ozell, God rest her soul. She always done that once she got to know you well. One of the ways that she embraced you as family, she nicknamed you because she nicknamed everybody.
That's a Southern thing.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
I know in the South, in Georgia, we were all had nicknames.
What was your nickname?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, God.
I would love to know.
Me too. She said that's okay.
And she said it's so nice. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but I noticed that that's a tradition, you know.
It is.
That everyone has nicknames.
Yeah. So her nickname is Ali. Her name is Alisa.
I was a fighting baby.
And actually, Lisa is a nickname.
A nickname.
Her real name
is
is Alisa. Shamako nickname is Champ.
Okay.
That's why it's coming as the Cake Champ.
Okay.
Nathan's nickname is Nathaniel, like in the Bible.
But it's not, his real name is not Nathaniel?
No, it's Nathan Locklear.
Nathan. Okay, but nickname Nathaniel.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Who nicknamed you?
Give to God.
These are all of Larry's nickname, not our family nickname.
I don't know what their families is.
He said my family one. My family one is Ali.
Ali, yeah.
Ali. So what did he nickname you?
That's called Lisa. I picked it up.
Lisa's my nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just called you Lisa.
Right. Which is her.
So he dropped the A.
Right.
Right.
Just so he can show some ownership. That's amazing.
Always.
No, it's just, it's kind of interesting.
Everybody calls me Lisa, so I can't necessarily agree with that. But it's Reid, so I don't know.
It's not ownership. It's the guy's
Well,
nickname.
Family. My family. You know.
My name.
Now, she should have kept that. But anyway, and then Kendall, what's your family nickname?
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't? Oh, well, I call him. Well, actually, Kenanchi, but then now we gave the nickname a short Nancy.
Nancy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a.
Because in the country, when something's very small, it's Tenanchi. Yeah, so and he was the smallest one out of all of us, so I started calling him Kenanchi. And then it went to Nancy.
Reid always comes up with these crazy names for some reason, because I'm a small frame kind of person, and so he would always say that the old people would say that I'm Tenanchi. And so he took Tenanchi and added the first 3 letters of my name, which is, K-E-N, onto the Tenanchi part and made Kenanchi. So I guess that's how it came out. You probably would have to hear him tell that, but that's how I perceive it.
Is he the smallest or the most fit?
Aha. That's a good distinction.
Well, he is the shortest.
Oh, that's very short. Okay.
Well, I guess he is the most naturally fit.
He is
Because he don't
naturally
have to work out.
Don't have to do too much.
And his tattoos are out of the world.
Yeah, so it doesn't really count.
He has the best tattoo out of everybody.
Anyway, and then Vincent, the girls gave him a nickname first, Manny, and then because like Nanny, and he in the home helped take care of the children. You know?
Oh, wow.
They call him Manny.
Yeah. So although Michael's the goddaddy, he's the man. They call him. This is Manny.
Manny.
Yeah.
Vincent. Okay, Manny.
Latrice ain't gonna say her nickname.
No,
she just
I
not-
don't have one. What is my nickname? What the hell? I'm not answering that question. So you have to. No, I don't know. We're not doing that. It's burned. It's in the sea of forgetfulness.
She, just like Lady Jordan, she does not want her family nickname mentioned at all. Oh, but also on the show, because if you look at, good example. Look at Vincent.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
His nickname is Buddha, like the God.
Buddha, yeah.
He favors them.
You know, I'm not gonna say that. I'm okay.
He does. He got the dimples and everything.
He does the big belly one, the big with the big
The
dimples.
skinny Buddha. Not the big belly.
First of all, my name is Vita Hill and not Vincent, but you can't teach old dogs new tricks. And all of my friends are old dogs. That's number one. Number two, the reason where Manny came from is because I was a full-time assistant when Lisa first had Exaria. So after maternity leave, I used to take care of Exaria. I would have her in my right hand, my right arm like this, rocking her and shaking the baby bottle with my left hand, making sure that she wouldn't cry, because if that thing didn't get no bottle, she would cry. And then, of course, I took care of Zoe and Josh along the lines. Now, I do have another nickname, Buddha. That's because though I'm strikingly stunning right now, I used to be a bit more chubbier than I am, and so I used to look like the little Buddhas that sit in front of the Asian restaurants. But guess what? Buddha's still sexy.
Did you like your nickname? You like Buddha?
He's embraced it.
It's a part of me now. Like people literally like Buddha, so I cannot not like it now because it's part of it. Yeah.
And it means enlightened one. So.
And I have a really nice tattoo that's better than Kendall's with a Buddha on my
It's
shoulder.
not better than mine.
But Kendall showed us his, and his was.
So they go back and forth
amazing.
between whose tattoos are better?
No, Bishop, you just did that.
Yeah, you did say that. You
always
said.
do that. And I was gonna let it slide, but I couldn't.
But Kendall's tattoo, that peacock,
It's nice.
He just peacocked it all over Instagram. That's what he did. But we have great tattoos amongst us.
yeah, I mean,
All right, so this peacock tattoo is something that I've been wanting to have done for a long time because I had some old tattoos I wanted to cover up. So this peacock tattoo covers my entire left torso. And so it's a very nice tattoo. It took 36 hours to do. I get a lot of compliments on it. And from my friends, I could probably say I get a little piece of some hate coming from it because I am the tattoo king. I reign king of the tattoos right now. So until someone tops the peacock tattoo, there's no competition.
That's true.
even though I don't know if
So
y'all
are
should
we
be,
going to
I
hell
don't know if y'all
because
should be marking up your flesh.
I knew it was coming up. You know what's coming.
Tattoos
I
are
haven't.
very
Not-
good. Well, I have
You're not-
tattoo.
You have a tattoo, Lady Jordan?
I saw one
Me
on the
neither.
footage.
You and I are the only ones saved at this point.
Bishop likes
The
my
last time he
tattoo.
prophesied to me, he said, no more tattoos.
He
I
sure
said,
did.
oh my God.
Cause
You
you
know
gonna
what?
get one more.
Because I felt in my spirit.
You're gonna get one more.
Atalabashata. I felt there was another one coming. I looked.
That is
I
small.
looked.
I have ideas of one though, so we can't get tattoos now.
Listen, it's. I personally think that tattoos could be a form of art, or again, if you're having a problem expressing yourself, then you write on yourself. Why write on yourself when you can use the voice to be the communication of self? But
Now, this is the old school.
I wanted Bishop to get a tattoo.
And he should.
I think he should have, but he tried to rebuke me, but I just. I think tattoos are very ritualistic. No, it should be B, because my name, Deborah means bee. Bernard means bear. Yeah, so you should get one with the bear and then with the honey, the bear.
Now you know what, now, Bishop.
See, that would have been so nice.
Now, that is really,
That-
really
next
special.
time you come, I'll have a painting of it. With a honeybee bear.
That is so special.
Right on your chest, right here.
She's the
Yeah,
only
on
lady
here,
that can
over
do
here.
that.
I wanted.
You have Latrice's name on your chest?
I didn't tell him to put my name. I just put the symbol, a bumblebee.
I mean, y'all weren't married.
Now he's trying to be funny. He would have to get it erased.
He would have to get it erased.
We weren't doing tattoos back then.
We won't.
Oh, yo,
Reid
so
started-
this
he
all
started-
happened.
Oh, Larry preached on tattoos.
He preached on
Maybe
it.
once.
No, Larry, if you got a tattoo, raise your hand. You got a spirit of lust.
Right.
Get out of here.
You turn spirit of lust.
Your soul.
It's gonna open up doors to spirits in your life.
So
That's
he
why you-
And
backslid.
he didn't start preaching on
He
it.
got tattoos.
I never preached on it. I preached on it once. I think I did. Maybe twice.
About 3 times.
3 times. 3 whole times. Yeah, let me tell you what happened. When it got called into this whole entertainment thing, let's flip the script. Now, when I got a tattoo, everybody sent me to hell and said I was wrong.
No, you went to hell before the tattoos. Them
And
earrings
then
in
when
your ear.
I got earrings,
I was leaving.
something ain't right. Yeah. This is my best friend now.
Did you ever preach against him?
We be friends.
Yes,
I don't remember.
Then take the earrings out.
Yes.
Nigel.
All the ministers that came to church.
Hold on.
Take the earrings out.
Wait. They lied, Bishop.
Oh, we got the video. We got the video.
No, we not.
We got the video.
That was Jennifer Brown that made the man take the earrings.
No, Larry.
It was.
Because you said Nigel could not be no
That's
elder.
because of what Jennifer said.
Y'all want together?
Yes, we were when he first came. Yes, it was.
It don't matter. Point is,
When Nigel came, I was back with you then.
But the thing is, Kendall came before Nigel. Larry, you were laying hands on Kendall and told Lottler or somebody to come get the earrings.
they fell out his ear though when I laid hands on him. The Holy Ghost took them earrings up out of your head. The Holy Ghost took them out of your ears, and I told Lottler to come get these demons. That's what happened. These folk always got something to say about what happened in the past. This is what I need for them all to do. Go to the therapy and the counseling like I did. I done said I'm sorry. I done bought y'all cars, done paid off your credit cards, gave y'all jobs. Leave me the hell alone and forget the past. Forget the past. And go talk to your therapist, please.
So the earring thing back in 2008, I was at a church service at, I believe it was Breakthrough Temple back then. So it was probably I want to say my first or second time attending a church service, and I got prayed for and prophesied to. And in that process, my earring falls out of my ear. And so Reid goes, throw that earring in the trash. And so I think Lottler went and picked up my earring, which I didn't know because I had fell out by then. All I remember is I had one earring, it's still left in my ear. And I went to Reid after church, and I was like, have you seen my earring? He said, yeah, it got thrown in the trash. He's like, you need to throw the other one in the trash too. So I was like, okay. And so I threw my earrings in the trash, and then I had on this fake looking watch thing that I was a watch freak back in the day. And so he's like, you need to throw that watch away too. So I threw my watch away. But now I've upgraded to the Apple Watch, so I'm good. I don't have to throw nothing away now.
Wow.
Listen, the week before he got his earrings, I said, I know he ain't finna get earrings. I seen it. He called me and said, I think God's telling me. I said, hold on. You think your ears pierced? He said, how you know? I said, I knew it. My insides just shut. I said, no man, no pastor is gonna pass me the earrings. I was heated.
Wow.
I was heated.
So y'all have come a long way.
Mm-hmm. No, that was just 2015.
That's a long way.
Oh, we can go further, but you know.
Not me. I was all for it. I was all for it. You popped in the earring. I said, okay, good. Boom.
I was bothered. I'm a bit traditional. Granted, I have tattoos, but I never wanted my pastor to have earrings. That's just my personal pet peeve. So when he said he was getting his ears pierced, actually I knew he was getting his ears pierced. I ain't gonna say God told me, but it was like days prior, I heard it clear, I'm gonna get my ears pierced. So he came to me and was like, hey, I got something to tell you. I'm like, your ears pierced. He was like, how you know? I felt cold. I got angry. I'm like, really? I mean, why that? Of all things, you do other things, but why you want to get your ears pierced? So I was kind of frustrated at that moment, because one thing is I didn't want him to be judged. Larry's always been judged by being out the box, doing certain things, and I just knew that were going to really take him completely to a whole nother level of judgment, and I didn't want that type of issues going on within the ministry in the church. So I'm like, oh well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Larry don't care, so why should I care?
It's so good.
There's lobster meat inside.
Boy, this is nice.
Ain't it nice?
Oh my goodness, Reid, you haven't lived.
So yes, we
I'm
have.
all right.
Take-
Rosalind, how is the lobster biz?
It's delicious.
It just wasn't out of.
Why in the whole hell and the heaven is they passing out all these nitbits, tickler-tanklers, ting-a-ling-a-zangers everywhere instead of giving us food? We is whole people, not toddlers, infants sitting here. You gotta feed us spoonful by spoonful. We do not care to be rationing out our food like we are slaves sitting at master's table. Please bring us the darn food.
Latrice, I thought you said you can't have lobster.
I said I do. I can't. I'm not allergic. I'm allergic to crab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is great. I would have been breaking out
Oh,
already.
so you have a phyllocrustacea allergy. You're allergic to crab, but not lobster?
You said
Really?
what allergy? You just spoke in tongues.
Right. No, it won't complete yet.
When I
Say it again.
A phyllocrustacea allergy.
Say it again one more time. Let's practice one more time.
Phyllocrustacea.
Shanta.
Style crustaceous
Like
shot.
my lips would have been swollen already
Okay.
if I was allergic. Like crab, I instantly start breaking out.
But do you break out with shrimp too?
Sometimes.
Oh, so that's interesting. I bet you're allergic to lobster. But I bet.
Hold on.
Wait.
Let me make sure they got Benadryl here just in case.
I'm gonna stop eating.
Yes,
Nobody have me
Let me just make
breaking
sure.
out, making me nervous.
Yeah, just in case. We have Benadryl? Somebody, I just need to make sure we have Benadryl just in case.
That's the crustaceans: shrimp, crab, lobster.
Yep.
That's all the crustaceans, and it's unusual to be allergic to only one of them. But I bet you have an allergy to all of them. It's just for lobster, it's super, super mild. I bet you
Just
have
in case if a phalacrochaceous kicks in.
I got it. I'm gonna make me a shot.
How did the conversation go between you and Lisa today?
Oh, it went great. Wonderful. Excellent.
You had a nice conversation.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
You see how women are? Shut, they ain't telling nothing.
I noticed. We're waiting. So you had a conversation then?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
I can't.
A lot of wisdom.
We're like 42 years marriage, and
Next week will be 42 years.
yeah. So
Women by nature carry secrets among themselves. Men don't share oftentimes. I mean, when you look, women get up oftentimes and they go to the bathroom together and they're communicating. Men, if we went to the bathroom together, it becomes concerning. So I think women by nature hold secrets. They can keep secrets. And so that created a bonding between them that I believe was necessary, because every great woman need a place where they can find a confidant.
Yes. Well, one of the things, I think men, they, for lack of a better word, they like to talk more than women gossip. And a lot of times, I guess they just want to be in our business, and it's none of their business as to what we're saying. I mean, sometimes when women get together, it's just about us talking, sharing, encouraging, and building each other up. And sometimes that's just for us.
do you talk about me at all?
Did I?
The answer is yes.
I did share with Lisa how he fired me. But I told him he couldn't fire me because I was quitting, so that was mute.
Really?
Yes.
Either way, it was a blessing.
I've never fired Lisa.
Oh!
I haven't. That was Vincent. That was Vincent.
I ain't talking about that.
You are Larry Reid.
Church too.
You know, they forget sometimes, too.
What you talking about, Marco? I ain't never fired up in no church.
I was sat down, Reid.
You set Lisa down?
You were not getting paid. So it's not firing.
It was embarrassing.
Why did I sit you down?
You
for?
set her down?
You sat me down because of somebody else.
She probably
The female pastor that we was with.
She probably lying.
I am not lying. You remember that?
You made it up.
Well, this is a new story. I don't know this story. Do tell.
It was
Yeah,
me,
tell.
Joy, all of us. When we went through the ordination thing, I didn't get ordained.
You didn't ordain?
You don't read your memory.
Nobody else remember that set.
I think Vince is having a flashback.
Your memory is so selective.
It's not selective. I don't remember.
When you say joy, you talking about
That was
that's
that hurt me though.
But I can't remember. What you talking about, Vincent?
Yes, it was her.
What was this?
I ain't in this. I don't even know why I'm at this table. Y'all ain't about to get me in trouble. I'm always saying something I ain't got no business. Last time I said something, Kendra almost dubout Schmacko. I ain't in it. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it.
But what happened?
Vincent, you know you don't put the
And
glass up to
instead
keep
of
yourself from
praying
talking.
for
Talk.
saying,
I want to hear this.
that you got to be set
Oh,
down.
hold on. I remember you telling me about that, and that made me mad.
Dinner in church?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I remember that. Now, I remember 'cause I got mad. I remember that.
Somebody did something.
So, Alisa, do you find a lot of times you go through a lot of public shaming?
Yes. I don't believe that it's done intentionally, but I do believe that my testimony is told a lot of times without me telling my own testimony. So I do believe that public shame, it kind of came with the territory of how we live and lived our lives. But I don't take it to heart, because I know Reid's heart. But then again, sometimes I wish he would just shut the heck up and let me tell my own testimony.
Wow.
She used to.
Used to. Reid just ratted me out on Patreon. Used to. And he's still doing it to this day.
Wow.
And I feel like it's because they felt like I needed to be a certain way. And it,
Wow. Did that happen a lot of times in your teenage years as well? School.
So I'm like, my stomach growling. I'm being nice. Hey, y'all. Where is the food? I'm so hungry. So I'm like, trying to be cool, trying to be chill, like, oh gosh, once again, there's a little dib of this and a little dib of that. I'm like, where's the food?
well, no, not at school. I was accepted in school, but
Among family?
I was accepted in family. It just was, I don't know. The people that we was always around, they felt like I should have been more upfront, more laying hands and prophesying and stuff like that. That wasn't me.
And y'all were young when y'all got married, right?
We're teenagers.
Yo, teenagers?
I think then I was only like 23, because I had Zari when I was like 25, I think.
Okay.
And I hadn't had her yet, so it was before her.
So that's a lot. Taking on ministry
And young.
it's like taking on a mistress. You take on it's like the wife has
And the
to
mistress.
begin to take on the mistress. It's like the church or a man's business becomes the mistress, because it could appear as though you're competing with it if you're not completing it in the way that sometimes the infrastructure or the corporate wives think it should go, you know. And so you're here fighting for your family in one way. There was a moment where Pastor had to sit out of the pulpit, and she set herself down to be with the children.
I didn't even sit in the front of the church. I was sat in the middle, because if the children had to go to the bathroom, and I felt so I didn't want to be a distraction for the church. So what I chose, I set it almost like in the back with the children, because I had little stair steps. And I did that. And a lot of people, they looked at, well, you should be doing this. And I understand what Lisa is saying, how a lot of time the church and individuals, they try to make you be something that you are not, or make you look the way you're supposed to. Well, you should be looking this way or dressing this way. And she said, but that's not me. I even changed my dress style, because every time I went to church, if it was a silk outfit, it was gonna be messed up. Milk spilled, baby food, you name it. So I said, you know something, let me just buy this cotton dress and call it a day. But it was my choice, because I knew what I had to do and how I had to handle my children. So a lot of times they try to force you to be a certain way. I know what I did. I found 2 women that were married to pastors and stuff, and I used to talk to them and ask them what I should be. And one thing I came out in much prayer and fasting. They told Deborah, you got to find who you are And that was a blessing. That would help
God
me.
had to teach me that because
Yeah.
when everybody was always jealous of us.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody would teach. I had nobody
Wow.
to teach me anything. The 18 years when I was with him, nobody. God had to teach me everything. And by the end, there were some first ladies that we were friends and stuff like that, but it was too late now. I was already in it.
Yeah.
But I had no mentors, no nothing.
That can be challenging.
It was
And
very
especially you're
challenging.
young.
Yes, very.
Like, we had to agree that during a weekday, I was not going to service because I had to get up in the morning, get the children ready for school and stuff. And someone had to be able to manage and to continue to raise the children, make sure they're in school, make sure they're doing homework. So I said, I'm going home, or I won't be in service during the weekday because it's cold. I'm traveling back and forth from the city to Brook. It was just a lot. And I had to make that decision. And Bishop didn't say that. I came to, I said, this is what I'm going to do because of the children's ABC. And that's it. So I bowed out of ministry. I bowed out of sitting in the pulpit because I knew that the children was my ministry. I was pastoring them.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Where is I almost cussed away. I don't need to cuss. Bring me the food.
I get it.
I don't know how you felt about, me not going to weekday service and not being in a lot of activity, or traveled with you.
Well, looking at it now, 42 years of marriage.
42.
Years of marriage, really, isn't it? I think polygamy deserves a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Polygamy?
Don't down our aisle.
And I don't think it's for sex.
I get it.
Now, I thank and praise God for the wisdom of Bishop Jordan because, yes, you say polygamy, I say sex. But beyond all that, where the hell is the food? They done passed out 50, 11 these little pots of nothing. I'm in this cold city and I'm hungry. Hell.
I 100% understand.
Because when you look at because my wife and I, we both went to Africa. And when you look at it, when you have these different roles to play, right? There was a part where my better half could not play the role of standing next to me as the prophetess, and she needed to maintain the children. Then there needed to be somebody else that stepped into that space because now I'm like a one-winged bird. Yes. And you feel the impact of carrying the load on your own or having to go places and I need my companion to help me to do the entertainment and I'm showing up by myself, but she has another load. So when you begin to look at patriarchs and great men in scripture that had a lot of wealth and was impacting, they needed other people to fulfill those roles. But even in the secular world, you would end up having a corporate wife, but say it, a wife not in the sense of a bed partner. I'm not looking at the lower level of this, but someone that knows how to handle maybe the accounts payables, knowing where, how to make sure the insurance. Sometimes that corporate wife knows more than the actual wife that is actually married.
When it comes to the business.
When it comes down to the business.
And I don't think no one can serve your vision except they have all of the attributes that a wife has.
Now, I'm using the term wife, or said term wife, a work wife, a travel wife, a financial wife. But the reality is helper out, like Kendra is on Larry Live. Every person around me, it doesn't matter their sex, because I have a vision and I have an assignment and a calling. Everybody that works with me, our relationship, the only relationship that you can compare it to is the relationship that a husband or wife, maybe not the only relationship you can compare it to, but it's the one that we naturally do here in the West. You compare it to a husband and wife. So in order for that thing to work, and this is something that I still do across all of my businesses, everyone I work with, indeed, they are a spouse to me in that work.
And I noticed that because I always had to choose out of who was around, and most of the time that would be Vincent or the Kendalls or Nathan or Shamako's, because and they.
But you turned them into wives.
That's what I
Yeah.
was about to
I mean,
say.
that's very powerful.
Oh, Bishop, I didn't realize this until Vincent was going to leave in a 2-bedroom apartment.
The man or what?
No, but in a 2-bedroom apartment, remember when you was leaving, and I was crying like I cried over Lisa. And I said, this makes no sense. What the devil I'm going through? Why am I crying? You just moving across the thing. And I realized in that moment, from all of the situations with Lisa, all the situations with my children, even when I was with the other lady, and all of those changes, everywhere I went, Vincent was right there with me. And I said, I didn't even know I ain't had no kind of talent like that. What? I didn't even realize it.
They began to fill the role. Like my wife, she's a good cook. But her value became such that it was too costly to have her in the kitchen.
Yes.
Because she was more valuable at maintaining the other aspect of ministry and running departments. She runs a whole department. So my wife's a great cook, but for her to be in the kitchen, it would cost me more money to replace her. So that's the value there. So I've had people say to me, well, your wife has a cook, your wife has housekeepers. Why don't my husband provide that for me? I says, you have to demonstrate your value. When the value is there.
Yeah.
So I get it, Alisa, that the role that any woman that wishes to marry a pastor or a CEO, you have to know what you're asking for, because in that marriage, they look for you, you to be in all of those different roles of like, did you pay this one? Did you take care of this one? Did you take care of the bills? What about the children's education? And what about this here? What about the health insurance? Is it taken care of? And this here. And why are you not at the PTA meeting? And then here with me for Sunday evening service, and then get our bags packed. We got to go travel, and that's too many hats for one woman to fulfill for a man that may be stepping into his greatness. Now, and there's some cultures that there are women that are into polygamy, right?
Very much so.
So I was going to ask that. What if you both like polygamy? Like, let's say the person you with is not there for you. Like, they're there for you, but you not emotionally.
Well,
so then you.
So I want to go back to this again in the family structure. Like I know in Africa, the first wife helps to pick the second wife. So like the first wife might be able to farm, but they realize that the man is going to go into finance or business. So now the next wife may be a banker that can help manage those affairs. Then the man may decide to go into fashion. So all of those are really business interests to build the family and to build the community, right? But we also have to look at too, when you're first generational wealth, and I guess Rosalind is another, we don't have the education and the knowledge base to know what we're dealing with until after the damage has been done.
Yeah. I mean, who you going to ask? I mean, I was the only person in my family that had ever started a church.
Right.
My father would tell me, he said, you got these degrees, why don't you go to the Baptist Association and they'll give you a church, because the only thing you're going to have is a master's. He said, why don't you do that? And I never felt called to do that. And so starting a church, my father was like, hey, why you want to do that?
Yeah, you became a founder. So when you look at that, or in any business, if you didn't come from that kind of pedigree or that kind of background, you get a working class family that you're coming out in that is all of a sudden thrown into all of this responsibility. Without a coach, you're done.
Ooh, let me say this. Okay, you came into my life 2018. Officially, our coaching relationship started in 2019. And if it wasn't for that, I would have crashed and burned. What you think, Michael? Being that you know me so long and work with me in ministry.
I don't know if it would have crashed and burned. You always had this thing to get real low and then pop back up. But I do believe that he came in your right life to push you to your next part, your next level.
Now, I know because of my own personal prayer life and meditation life, and I really am hard on myself. Of course, I wouldn't have crashed and burned in the sense that it would have all been over. And thanks to my best friend, Shamako, who really knows me, he was like, nah, you wouldn't have done that. But what Bishop said is a great way to sum it up. Having a mentor really helps you to go ahead and get to your goal, to your destination, with a whole lot of banga. Because naturally, we're emotional, we have feelings and thoughts, and stuff just come and go when it comes to what come up in our head, and some of y'all bed. But anyway, so I cannot help but be thankful and grateful for Bishop Jordan in my life as a coach and as a mentor, because he has literally helped me cut time in half and get to those spaces and places that have been preordained, what I believe to be in the mind of God for me to be successful and prosperous. And he's hand-walked me there.
So did Lisa talk about me?
Why would Lisa talk about you?
I just want to know. Did she talk about me? She might, because I'm
Did you talk about me?
Sure, my name is Lord.
You always talk about me.
Yes.
I feel like Reid was so pressed to know what we were talking about because this is the first time I ever sat down with Lady Jordan, and I don't know why he was pressed though, because I don't run my mouth like he run his. I'm mostly a listener. I don't really speak a lot until I have something to say, but I don't rattle off at the mouth. So I don't know why he was pressed about it, but he did come up, but it wasn't like probably how he thought.
You always talk about me. Well, Lisa, we've been in each other's life all our life. What else am I supposed to talk about? You don't want me to talk about you? I know you talk about me. I know that.
Always telling my testimony.
I want to tell your testimony. I was just telling the conversation that we had the other day that was had me like, When you
What was that conversation?
She asked me so you mean tell me you don't know if we ever get married again? She was just asking. And I was like, I put it out my mind so far in order to do what we do that I hadn't thought about it. So as she said what she said and I brought it to my mind, I'm like, I don't even have enough data to even be considering another relationship right now by myself. Because I haven't been by myself until recent. And I'm just learning how to put myself first. And in doing that, I'm getting to know myself in every kind of relationship that I have around me. And so everything's brand new.
It's brand new. Except
The answer is
he's not,
no.
You don't know what I said the answer was?
The answer is, will they get married again? You right?
Well, according to Larry, what Larry just said, I would think not now, maybe in the far off future, maybe, but not now.
So now the real answer is, see, this is how you always tell. Can she date somebody else and a guy come and pick her up at the house?
Right, that's what, so can she do that? Yes.
She can definitely date someone else. We discussed that.
See, I be watching Bishop. I know him. He's a Gemini. My daddy is a Gemini. My first PA is a Gemini. And sitting right here on set right now trying to tell me what to do. You got to watch Geminis. They sneaky and they try to get in a position of power to run your life. So he's purposefully bringing this back up to try to get me to give the answer that he want me to give. It's not going to happen. Ain't no nigga coming to my darn house. Ever, never, it ain't happening. Now, if it's about to be her husband, then that's a different thing because he's now a new family member that I gotta wrap my arms around. Until then, hell no.
See, so watch this, Pastor.
No.
See,
Wait a
minute.
now you know what I said, right?
Would I ever bring a man to the house to pick me up for a date? Probably not. And it has nothing to do with, oh, I live here and all this stuff. I just don't want to put anybody that I would be in a relationship with the pressure of that. Because I don't want them to feel like they have to measure up to something. All you gotta do is love me and we'll be fine.
See, but
Didn't he say on the show,
I
got to pick you up at the house?
I know, but time won't alone. This is what data comes to data gathering. So before
data.
What data?
Do you know how quick things go in the spirit world? And so but this is what I'm saying. But this is what I would do because I'm not holding Lisa back for nothing. I don't think she'll hold me back for anything. So I said I will get her another place so when she's going on a date, the guy can come there.
Let me interpret the tongues.
Okay, interpret
That's
the tongues.
like if she dates anybody else, she gets kicked out of the house.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I can't afford. No, we can't be a family without Lisa.
We can't be a family without Lisa.
We can't be a family without Lisa. So
this said that. I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that. But I'm just saying. Then, so he has here now, Pastor, the benefits of a wife without carrying the name of wife.
I don't have all the benefits.
Because he doesn't have all the data.
But that's his choice.
That's his story, too.
That's his story.
But that's interesting because
It's
if you
very.
look, since we're sitting here with the Archbishop and the prophets, if you look at the scripture that says, "The man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing
and
obtain favor from the Lord." Okay, it doesn't say that you're married. It just says a wife is a good thing, and Lisa is a wife.
Yeah, because
she's wife material.
Because in that conversation, now this is interesting. Because in that conversation, she kept saying, "I feel I am a wife." You remember you kept saying that? She kept saying, "I am a wife. I'm not made to not be in a relationship. So I know I'm going to go into a relationship." So this is why I'm asking you this question. Because I'm not
telling you up front, because there's people in my inbox.
Right, that's what she was. Yeah, she said all that.
So,
she said all that.
So I'm telling you, it's for first dibs. I'm telling you now.
You told me that in that conversation.
With one phone call, she could be in a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much anybody that looks halfway like so.
But it's her choice.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it is a choice. And I wouldn't stand between that. There was nothing in me that wanted to stop that. So whatever I would have to do in order for it to work for her and for me.
Bishop Reid, you're already standing between it.
Say what now?
You're already standing between it.
What you mean?
Because he can't come to the door.
Right.
You can't.
Because
and then if he does come to the door, there's a consequence.
Guns.
What?
Bullets blazing. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, he said all you need is God, Google, and guns.
Now, I have been saying this for years. 3 things everybody needs. God, of course, thank you, Jesus. Google, and a gun. Now, this is as relates to living. If God can't help you, maybe Google can. And if Google can't answer the problem, maybe your gun can. God, Google, and gun. As relates to problem solving in life.
I don't understand it either, I guess. Because if you're giving her permission to date,
then it shouldn't be a problem.
Right. I understand it. He's not giving her permission to date.
That's
He said, I have found a good thing, which is a wife. I'm not married to her, but I have her. She's in my home. This is our family. No, you can't date anybody because we're family. You're my good thing.
That's what you said.
That's it.
I don't feel that way.
I think is you date, but date outside my house. Don't bring no another Negro to my doorstep.
But she lives there.
I personally agree with Larry. I think if you're gonna have another guy or date another guy, you need to have your own place because I don't want to be sizing him up, and he's sizing me up. Be like, oh, so she's with this guy, and I'm be like, oh, so you with him now? I think it's kind of weird. Well, of course, in my situation, it'd probably be like, oh, you with her?
Number one, that nigga ain't gotta worry about that. I don't want a nigga. I ain't looking for a nigga. That's number one. So there's no worries there. Even if it was, I guess I would get that, because when he starts dating whoever, it would be awkward for me because we're in the same room. I would want to be far away from there as possible. So I get that, but I'm not looking for a man. So no worries.
But now,
But see, we living together for
watch
the
this,
purpose
watch
of
this.
our family. So we're gonna
okay, so
introduce.
for your family, right?
Right.
Can a guy come to your house and take your daughter on a date?
That's not that easy.
No, but when your daughter gets 18, 19, 20, will the guy be able to come to the
He's
house?
gonna have to come there to come get
Come
her.
to the house,
Yeah,
right?
he has to.
So then if she's family, the guy would
Right,
have
and
to
she
come to
is.
the house to come and
Well,
get
what about all
Alisa.
our parties and stuff we have? They can come to the party.
We're talking about someone that Lisa knows that I do not know
Attention,
and
everyone.
the girls do not know.
Attention, this is what love looks like.
No.
I love it.
You know to that.
This is what love looks like. Like, honey, nobody can come to the house and pick you up. Right?
Just go this
Because if they do and you want to date, you're gonna have to get an apartment.
Right, so you're kicking her out.
No. Now I can understand if
Look at him.
if Lisa is dating someone. First of all, because when we communicate, we're gonna know if we're dating someone. So she's gonna be already done tested and tried this person. She gets to the point where they come to the house, that means they're about to be married. Now I'm gonna be open to that. But just some random someone that she just meeting, just I wouldn't know this to happen.
But
I don't do randoms.
No, but I think that the first time a real date happens is at the house. They come to the house and say, "May I take your daughter out?"
I'm
Right?
talking about Lisa, not
No, we're
Zari.
talking about family.
Okay.
So then, who is Alisa to you? We know
That's the question.
Zoria and Zoe is your daughters.
Who am I?
Who am I? She wants to.
Yes.
And this has been the question for this has been the question for the last 20-something years. She's looking for who am I?
It's changed.
And Adam named Eve.
Yeah.
He gave Eve a defining point. So now,
is this?
who is she?
This woman.
To me, Lisa is a very, very, very important part of something that I promised God. That's what she is to me. Out of that came a marriage and came children. I made a promise to her father in the eyesight of God. And it will not leave me, it won't ever leave me. At the same time, it is very difficult to get people to stay out of her head and my head, trying to tell us what we are supposed to be. When she left me that last time and I began to find myself and heal my life, I am perfectly 100% happy. Do I love her enough to marry her? Probably. I know she loved me enough to marry her, and we will be open to marrying each other if that's what we wanted. That's not what I want, and I want people to let it go and leave it alone. She came to me and she said, I apologize for asking you a question about something that we never discussed. So while she's going on and on to my data, what's that data? We had never had the discussion. It was never on the table at all. There was never no kind of lead up, no warm up. It was literally a question out the blue. We are friends that are co-parenting. Nothing else was in my mind during all. And she know me. If it was in my mind at all, we would have been trucking. She knows how I am. I am a rabbit. She know that. So if I'm not doing that, it's pretty clear my head is not in there at all as relates to that. But there will never be anything that she want, anything that she desired, and I held to this even when she was married. Even when we was divorced, before that situation, I'm gonna always be there.
To me?
To you.
She's the queen of the family.
Oh, then they're married. A king just don't have a queen unless there's a covenant.
Well, I think we made a covenant as relates to our family.
Vincent?
I'm still stuck at the apartment thing. I can't. Were you saying get an apartment for the pickup or get an apartment for her to stay?
For a pickup.
That's how I heard him say that.
Right.
So he would create a safe space for pickup, not kick Alisa out.
For her to date.
All right.
These random.
Not that I agree. I was just trying to get clarification.
Right.
All right.
So,
That's your disclaimer.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, she wouldn't need, if she's going to go to the trouble of moving out, if that's what you're saying.
Move.
Oh, you're going to go and rent an apartment?
Yeah, just rent an apartment because if she wanted to, I'm pretty sure she wanted to go out with the person, even if she wanted to take it to the next level. So if he's gonna come pick her up like a gentleman should, he should come where she's at from the house and pick her up. But just happened the situation we're in, we're raising our kids together. Him coming to the house and meeting me and the kids at where our family is, I think that's too much too quick. We don't need to be saying that. That's
But he wouldn't have to meet the rest of the family. He could just drive up and pick her up.
It's gated, and the nigga can't get in unless I open the gate.
You know what I've been seeing, Archbishop? Now, this is just my interpretation. I've been seeing like this emotional, contractual negotiation that's been going on for a number of years. And the contract has not yet been finalized. The negotiation between these two parties, they're still going on.
Oh, I agree
because they're
with
trying
that.
to work out some details so they can finalize, a permanent relationship again.
And I love it
That's good.
because the Bryants have already started to move forward.
Right, same thing.
But they got divorced
Same thing. Mass kissing.
I'm actually 100% for real because Marco is a great guy. He's not for me, but he's a great guy for somebody else. And so I think I will be the great person to help a sister out. Someone with a good, strong backbone. I think he should go white, but I offer that because I don't want Marco to be alone, and he is a loner. But I think he needs that balance. Someone to put up with.
If I was gonna be, when I get to that level, I'm gonna be doing the same thing with Lisa because she knows me, so I'm gonna be trusting
That's
her.
not gonna work.
Okay,
Reid.
this is going to be.
Because anytime you bring other women around me, they always clam
They
up.
get jealous of the relationship.
And that ain't gonna work.
They've been this way. They're playing this game with each other.
We're just having fun with each other.
And they're having fun with each other.
Trying to get a response
And
from
playing
each
with
other.
each other's emotional banquet. That's why I think Alisa went to school for psychology, just so she know how to play Reid's game.
All right, would I ever get back with Larry Reid? At one time I would hop on that question, but now I have to, because now I have data. And I have to sit myself back and pull myself back and be like, because there's never been a answer from him verbatim. So why should I give an answer verbatim? So I don't feel like I should put myself in that situation to where if somebody has already moved on, I should not be trying to make something happen that's not going to happen.
Master Prophet and First Lady Jordan, thank you so very much for allowing us in your home. We had to come see you for Christmas. You mean so much to us.
Thank you. You're family.
And do you feel as though you're clear with Lisa now?
I'm 100% clear.
That he can come her date
Her date can come
to the house.
to her house.
To my house.
Yes.
To her house.
Yes.
What house?
The house we're going to be getting for you. For dating purposes.
Oh my God.
Dating purposes only?
Wow.
And we'll see you again so y'all can get clear. Thank you.
Relationships are spiritual institutions, negative and positive magnetically drawn endings. That's where our relationships are made. Cords, coils, and ties in the spirit world that connect us, me and you. We're connected even in this moment. Don't let anyone define your relationship. Sometimes defining your relationship, it actually causes you to destroy your relationship. I'm a firm believer that marriage, the way that we think about marriage, has a way to destroy many times relationships because of the concept, the construct that marriage is. And because of that, it destroys relationships. I need for each and every one of you that are watching me to enjoy your relationships. You defined it and that person that you are in. And it ain't nobody's business but you and that person. Treat each other right, love each other. And I want to just tell everybody, let folk out your ear. You see how Bishop is trying to put me and Lisa together? All outside God's business. That ain't what God told him to do. That is not what God did, Bishop. And God told him to do none of that. And I understand that because he old school and where he come from and what he wants. And even the gay men that's around him, he be asking them when you can get a wife. Now what the hell? What they gonna do with puss? But that's what he does. And I respect his instruction, his advice, and his coaching. But I filtered that thing through my Holy Ghost and my darn prayer life too. And I'm not marrying Lisa. If I decide to marry, I'll come tell y'all. But that's not on my mind. Let me be. Just let me be. I just got fresh new single. I just got fresh black when I moved to Atlanta. Cause I was standing in white North Carolina and ain't never seen black folk with nothing. Y'all let me be. And that's what you do. I'm doing right, doing good to my brother. I'm doing proper by folk. I'm doing my money right. I got my spirit together. I'm helping other folk. Let me do all that and be happy. And quit trying to put me with folk. I'm trying to be a daddy to these children and trying to be a good boss, a good employer, and a good mentee. Leave me the hell alone. I done got way off, I'm so sorry. What I need for you to do right now is to hit like and hit share and share with everybody this link and tell everybody about Reading Things My Way. And if you enjoyed tonight's show, before you get off here, y'all need to leave some money. $MBN Network. You know they're gonna be down there in the chat. All right? See you later. Goodbye.